Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I'm still alive and I'm doing great. And I'm here at the South Pole Station. We just closed up the station for winter. So I'm here with 39 other crewmates and we are officially the most isolated group of humans in the solar system. It is literally easier to get home from the International Space Station than it is from here at this point. So, I'm on the observation deck of the elevated station. You can see way off in the distance there, that is the South Pole Telescope, out that way. And then Ice Cube a little off to my left. And then you can see the sun just been circling the horizon. Anyway, I gotta go back inside now because right now it's about 60 below and the wind chill I think is about 90 below. So I can only be out here for like 30 seconds before I start getting frosty. The two South Pole videos I posted yesterday absolutely blew up. So I wanted to do a quick video and answer as many questions as possible. First of all, as of right now of this posting, yes, the sun has set. The videos I posted before were from a few weeks ago. It's getting darker every day. Yes, I do know the other girl posting on TikTok from here, Antoinette. Go follow her if you haven't already. She's a great person and a good friend. What do I do here? I'm a physician assistant or a PA. Me, along with the station doctor, we run the medical clinic down here. Big question I got asked is, how do you get a job down here? Just go to usap.gov and find their page that has a list of their contractors. There's about 7, and just find a job with one of them. I mean, we need everybody from electricians to plumbers, doctors, dishwashers, chefs, everything. Is there an ice wall down here? No. Is there a lush forest down here somewhere? No. Are we allowed to go outside? Yes. Are we sworn to secrecy about something? No. No aliens or anything crazy like that, unfortunately. How do we have power? We have 3 main generators that run on a high-powered diesel fuel. We don't have solar because the sun only shines 6 months a year. We don't have wind because the really cold weather tends to... I'll show you the actual South Pole as well as the ceremonial South Pole. I'm out at the actual geographic South Pole. This is the marker right here. If you were to look at a globe, this is the spot right where the pin would go through the bottom of it. The whole globe spins around this one spot. So I'm here at the ceremonial South Pole marker, and around it, it has the 12 flags of the original signers of the Antarctic Treaty. I'm not going to list all the countries here, but it's directly out from the station, which is way back there. In a normal year that doesn't have a pandemic, if you're a tourist, you could pay like 80 grand to, get a trip down here, camp out on the ice and come to the South Pole. You still can't come into the station unless you have special permission, but it's still possible for a tourist to come down here and see. So a few people have commented that they want to see what the galley looks like, and I don't blame them because actually the galley is probably one of my favorite rooms here on station. Got lots of room to sit down, socialize. The food here they serve is awesome. There's omelet bars every day, yogurt bars. Sometimes we get eggs Benedict. Food is amazing. The other thing is that the view from the galley is amazing. If you look straight out here, you can see the geographic South Pole. If you look really closely, you'll see a waving American flag. Out one of these windows, you can see the ceremonial South Pole, way out there. Great food, great hangout spot. A lot of the social events we do here, like board game night. Yeah, just a cool room to be in. All right, so that was a few weeks ago, but it's now Easter today, and I had to give another shout out to our galley crew because they're awesome, and they actually made us goodie bags with candies, homemade candies for Easter, or goodie buckets, whatever. So first we got the sandwich table with panini press, all your different breads, bagels, and everything. You know the feeling when you're at college and all you got in your fridge is like some week-old rice and a carton of eggs, and then you come home to a fully stocked fridge full of food that you didn't buy or make? That's what this is. Everything in here is delicious and it's always fully stocked. Of course, I have to mention our dessert tray, cookies, brownies, fudge that they all make in the galley that's here 24/7. Terrible idea. All the coffee you want. And our ice cream cooler, you can come here and get ice cream anytime. Right now we got chocolate, marble, and pistachio. We have our cereal selection, Kix, Total. We actually have Cinnamon Toast Crunch here, which I thought was pretty amazing. This is our community bar or coffee bar. And every Sunday morning we do a coffee bar. We do espresso, mocha, latte, macchiato, whatever you want. At the back of the coffee bar we have all these jars of cookies that I'm raiding all the time, probably way too much. And you exit the galley this way by the community board with all the current events, memes. I don't know who put all those memes up there. It was me. And then drop off your dishes to dish pit, and that's the galley. I got a few people that commented that the station looks really modern, and I just wanted to show that I'm not living at a shack at the bottom of the world at the South Pole. I wanted to show off a little bit of the station. So, weight room. We got Martin over here resident ice cube scientist. And downstairs from the weight room, actually, we have almost a full-size gym. Basketball court, volleyball court. Not too far away from the gym is our activity room / music room, where we have tons of guitars, musical instruments, drums. Our main movie lounge. This is where we do Sci-Fi Sundays, where currently we're watching the show Dark. The arts and crafts room. Anything you can dream up, probably you can make here. The greenhouse / growth chamber. Right now the grow lights are on, so it's super bright in here. We've got Brandon in there tending to the plants. Kale, tomatoes, lettuce. And we've got some cucumbers and zucchini as well. So this is what we call the quiet reading room. It's really our library of sorts. We have all kinds of books in here, ranging from textbooks and historical to the more scandalous and salacious variety. This is our B3 movie lounge. This is where we have Sci-Fi Sundays and watch Dark. And one of our members here has created a whole wall timeline. Highly recommend that show. This is also where we have our TV library of all our TV shows. One thing that I love that we have here that we use for every movie night and TV night is this popcorn maker. I eat so much freaking popcorn here. Also, our music room is pretty impressive. Guitars, banjos, ukuleles, we've got keyboards, drums. Pretty impressive selection. In here is the B1 common area. We've got chess, we've got pool, we've got darts. This is our board game closet over here. Of course, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, B1 movie lounge. So up here is where we have our movie library, DVDs, Blu-rays, also our gaming systems, Xbox, PlayStation are up here. All right, for some reason you guys want to see the bathrooms, so they're split into women's and men's, and they're just outside the birthing area. And by birthing area, I just mean the nautical term for where you sleep. Okay, it's not actually giving birth, it's just your bedrooms. Just so you know, this is one of the pods that's shut down right now, so there shouldn't be anybody in here. Anyway, yeah, sinks, mirrors. Actually, interesting fact, one of the few places there are mirrors on station. There's like 3 in each bathroom, 1 in the gym, and then that's just about it. But yeah, we got showers, of course men's, so we have the urinal, stalls, and another shower. So pretty simple, all shared, keep things pretty clean. And anyway, they all get cleaned every Saturday for house mouse. Generally a pretty livable situation here with the bathrooms. All right, everybody's been saying, show us your room, show us your room. And I don't know why, because my room is tiny and plain. But if you ask for it, you'll get it. Now the thing is, the walls are all very super thin inside the sleeping areas, the birthing areas, so I've got to talk very quietly. So here we go. Let's go. Be very careful to shut all the doors very quietly. All right, this is my room. A1222. So like I said, I didn't bring down any art to put on the walls, and I feel like everything's very bare and plain. A twin bed, like everybody else's. I have a desk. Usually my laptop goes there. A big wardrobe for my big goose down parka. So really tiny room. Also, like I said, the walls are really thin, and you can hear everything your neighbors are doing. So if you're gonna have any kind of fun in your room, you gotta have the quiet kind. You guys wanna see where I work in the clinic? Let's take a look. All right, let's see if I can do this in a way that makes sense. So, just to your left, as soon as you come in, this is the laboratory where we run all the blood tests, all the blood work. Also my office right there. Through here, the pharmacy. We've got a pretty well-stocked pharmacy with all the major things we need. To the main exam room through here. Exam room, trauma bay, whatever you want to call it. We've got a crash cart, monitor, ventilator, another ventilator, ultrasound machine over there. You have our portable x-ray machine. Not enough room for a dedicated x-ray room, so that's what we have. And then our dentistry suite over here. And then over here is where we have our satellite phone to have a 24/7 connection back to our support team in Texas, who are excellent. The doctor's office, not much exciting back there. To the left, we have our 1 inpatient room. Currently we have 1 bed here. All the medical apparatuses. And also, we get a window out this way, which is really nice. Alright, so for today's tour, I want to take you into the science lab. So obviously the South Pole Station isn't here just because it can be here, just for fun. Science is the main objective. It's the main reason the rest of us are here, is to support the scientists. So we've got stations here for all the different experiments, including Ice Cube, SPT. There's a meteorology scientist station in the back. But as you can see, they get the luxury of having a lot of space to do all their work, as they should. They're the whole reason we're here.
Eventually, I'm going to take you out to the science outbuildings where all the experiments actually take place, including the South Pole Telescope, the Ice Cube Neutrino Detector, and the Atmospheric Research Observatory. So I made a 3D rendering of the South Pole Station where I'm currently at. Check it out. If you want to see the full video, go to my Instagram or YouTube.
The climbing gym is in a separate building than the main elevated station. We've got to hike way out there into the darkness to get there. All right, about a half mile away from the station, in one of the outbuildings, we finally come to the climbing gym. Nice, nice. Woo!
Alright, so this is the inside of the climbing gym. We're not exactly sure when it was built, but it was at least before the elevated station, built by a bunch of engineers with scavenged lumber. Every couple years, the people here change up the routes to keep it interesting. There's actually an Antarctic bouldering club with a logo and t-shirts and everything. So yeah, it's an active community here at the South Pole.
-70, pretty chilly, right? So right now, I am in the vertical tower, or what we more normally refer to it as the beer can. And what we've got to do several times a week is take out the trash. All right, so now we've got the trash down to the logistics arch where we have to sort it into recycling, landfill, sanitary waste, etc. We try to be as renewable as we can with our materials, but sometimes there's just waste we can't get rid of. So we actually bring it down here, it becomes compacted, palletized, and actually stays down here until the summer, till it can be either tracked out or flown out on a plane. The logistics arch is where we keep our long-term supplies like food, etc. Obviously anything in here is frozen. This is where Tony at Antoinette works.
Alright, so I'm back for questions round 2. What are you guys saying? First of all, yes, I have played Among Us with some of the crew members. We haven't played down here, but we played a lot while we were in quarantine. I don't like being the imposter, it makes me nervous. Also, a lot of you guys were making a joke about the door locking behind me when I went outside. Luckily, all the exterior doors cannot be locked, and they all open outward, so they can't be blocked on the inside either. How do we get here? Generally, you fly from Christchurch, New Zealand, down to McMurdo Station on the coast of Antarctica, and then take another flight here. Can't do that in the winter though, because it actually gets so cold that it starts freezing up the fuel in the airplane. What about internet? So we get kind of mediocre internet for about 5 hours a day, and then crappy, spotty internet for a few hours more. So if you see me not responding to comments for a while, it's because our internet's down. How long am I here for? So I'm here for the Antarctic winter, which lasts from February to October or November. Do you watch John Carpenter's The Thing? Yes. So it's actually a tradition every year when the last flight leaves for winter, we do a Thing marathon with all 3 movies. What time zone are we in? So we use New Zealand time on station, which after last night's time change is now +12 GMT. What is the station built on? So it might surprise you to know that there's no actual ground or dirt here. The station and everything else around here is built on about 2 miles of ice. You've got to go 2 miles down before you hit any actual ground here at the South Pole. But since there's no dirt, it actually makes it really easy to keep the station clean. If you want to know how the station was built, far too complicated for me to explain in a TikTok, but if you go to southpolestation.com, it's all documented there. What food do we eat? So anything that's good to be frozen, we probably have down here. Things we don't have down here is fresh milk, it's all powdered. We do have fresh eggs, but those will probably run out at some point. We do get fresh greens from the greenhouse, which is amazing. What about COVID? So everybody that's here actually went through a long quarantine process to prove that they didn't have COVID. So now we don't follow any COVID precautions. We don't have to wear masks. We can hang out together. It's actually pretty great. And finally, I'm not Johnny Sins, but apparently we share certain similarities. Alright, you guys ask a lot of questions, so here's round 4. Why are we down here? So in one word, science. We have darkness almost 6 months a year. We have some of the clearest skies in the world. So there's a lot of astronomy science that happens down here. We also have some of the cleanest air in the world, so there's a lot of atmospheric science. So what about alcohol? So people are allowed to drink on their off hours. You can buy it from the store, but it is rationed somewhat so that things are kept to a responsible level. Can you smoke? Yes, but you have to go outside of the smoking deck, and considering how it is -70 Fahrenheit or -55 Celsius, you gotta be pretty dedicated. Where do we get water from? So we actually use something called a rod well, where we heat up water from the waste heat from the generator, inject it deep into the ice to melt more ice, and then we pump it all back out and we just keep repeating that cycle. What's your altitude there? Are you at sea level? So we're actually at 9,300 feet or 2,800 meters. So if you ever see me getting out of breath while talking, that's why.
All right, so we've had the coldest day of the season so far, 84 below Fahrenheit, 67 below Celsius. What better time to answer some of you guys' questions? What would happen if you just put a compass on top of the geographic South Pole, which the South Pole here is the geographic South Pole. Compasses point towards the magnetic South Pole, which is actually about 1,800 miles or 2,800 kilometers away from here. All right, next question I get asked a ton is, what if you have a medical emergency that you can't handle there? A lot of people say, what about appendicitis? First of all, nobody needs to get their appendix out to come down here, but short answer is it's complicated. For appendicitis in particular, we would probably treat that just antibiotics, which most of the time that does very well. For whatever serious condition comes up, we're consulting our support team back in Texas. We're basically trying to stabilize the patient as much as possible and then arrange for a medevac. Medevac are gonna take several weeks, cost millions of dollars, put a lot of people at risk to even fly down here that late in the winter. And so we have to balance the risk benefit. All right, here we go. Question and answer round, what is this, 9? So what if there's a fire? So the station was designed with one pod that's basically the lifeboat pod. It has a miniature version of everything else on station, like a little galley, little laundry room, little power plant, etc. If anything catastrophic happens to the station, whether it's a fire or the main generators fail, we'll all evacuate to that pod until we can be rescued. How do food and supplies get here? All right, so there's 2 ways that stuff gets here. One is the South Pole Overland Traverse. It's used several times in the summer by a bunch of tracked vehicles that pull a bunch of bulk cargo and a ton of fuel here for us to use over the winter. It takes about 3 weeks one way. It's slow, but it's fuel efficient, and it's much easier than flying things here by plane, which is the second method. What about us missing all this sunlight? So we're humans, our bodies want sunlight. One, we have lots of daylight spectrum lamps for people to use, and also we have tons of vitamin D supplements, and we encourage people to take those as well.
All right, let's go Q&A round 6. Are there any animals down here? No, not really. Basically nothing here is living besides us humans and whatever we grow in the greenhouse. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to have any pets as much as we would love to have them. There are definitely no polar bears here. Those are in the Arctic. Where is the ice wall, dome, hole in the ground, the lizard people? Ridiculous I have to even say this out loud, but those don't exist. None of us had to sign a non-disclosure agreement before coming down here because there's no secrets to keep. Are we allowed to have weed or grow weed in the greenhouse? No. So it really is in your best interest not to piss anybody off. Finally, everybody's been asking about, is there romance on station? Are people hooking up? Is there drama? Are we even allowed to have relationships? And yes, we are. And even if there's a rule against it, I'm pretty sure people would break it. Anyway, there's enough going on around here to fill a TV show or two, but am I gonna tell you about it? No, because I'm not completely stupid. Sorry guys.
Q&A round 7. This is a big one, so I might split this into 2 videos. Why am I not showing other people? So privacy is a big deal around here, and a lot of people come down here hoping to kind of disconnect from the always connected world, and I'm trying to be sensitive to that. But I am hoping to bring more people on as the year goes on. If you have a spouse or children, can they come here and live while you work? No, everybody here has to have a job. There's not really room for anybody else. Are there guns on station, or are we allowed to have guns? No. Are there only Americans on the station? So we have one German scientist who works with the Ice Cube neutrino detector and one Australian scientist who works with the South Pole telescope. All the support personnel though are American. I believe it's a requirement to be from the US to work here as support, but I'm not sure. Do you need a passport to go to Antarctica? Actually, no. Since no one country maintains jurisdiction over the entire continent, you actually don't need a passport to come here. Am I being paid? Yes, I'm a contractor for the US government. I make about the average amount that an emergency room physician assistant would make back in the States. I'm not being paid $1 million to be here. All right, here we go. Q&A 7, part 2. So what kind of security do we have down here? Interestingly,
Pretty much none, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, everybody goes through a background check and a mental health history review before they get a job here, so that weeds out a lot of people that are going to have issues here. Secondly, everyone here has an essential job, and each person at some point over the winter, maybe even every day, they'll hold the lives of everybody else on station in their hands. So it's a good idea to just get along with everyone and not piss anyone off. Lastly, all your material needs are basically provided for you while you're here, and money actually isn't that valuable, so there's not as much motivation to steal. Keys and locks are very rare on station. Your berthing room locks from the inside, but you have no key to lock it when you leave. One of the biggest threats to station safety is a fire, and if there were to be any fire in your room, any delay in fighting it could be catastrophic for the station.